No big deal.
Thank you. President Biden does not have any events at the White House in the new year, and he's been kept from public view for 3 full days now. Why?
The president had a 3-day swing, went to 4 states in the new year. He went to, just recently, he went to Pennsylvania, Valley Forge, where he gave a really impactful, important remarks on our democracy, protecting our democracy, on the eve ahead of January 6th. What we saw in 2011 on January 6th was an attack on our democracy, and he went out there and he spoke to the American people. It was very well received, and this is something that he's going to continue to do. He went to, obviously he was in Delaware, and then he went to South Carolina, also gave another impactful speech on our democracy and our freedoms, and then he went to Texas to honor a former Congresswoman, EBJ, who recently passed away, and he went there to pay his respect. So the president did a three-day swing. He went to 4 states. He's been out there. He's been able to talk directly to the American people, and we think that's really important. Tomorrow, he's going to be in Allentown. You heard from Lael, where he's going to talk about small businesses, how important, especially in Allentown, that's been. 15 million applications in 3 years. That's a record number because it's important to see how Bidenomics is working. He's going to talk about Bidenomics, but let's not forget, if people are starting small businesses, they must have some confidence in the economy. So he's looking forward to being out there tomorrow and talking again directly to the American people.
So he did a 3-day swing, but for the last 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, none of his constituents have seen him doing anything. Who decided that the American people are best served by seeing less of the president?
I would disagree. I wouldn't say they saw less of the president. He was out there, again, a couple of states in 3 days. I think that's important to note as well. And give the American people the full information here. And yesterday we noted this. He met with Paul Whelan's sister, Elizabeth Whelan. And this is a commitment when it comes to American hostages, bringing them home. The president has been committed to doing that. And we have brought home more than 30 people, 30 Americans who have been held hostage across the globe. And so the president is committed. He wanted to have a conversation with Elizabeth Whelan. He did that. He met with his national security team, as he does regularly. He did that. He had lunch with the vice president yesterday, important partner in everything that he's trying to get done on behalf of the American people. So the president is active. The president is doing what he needs to do to deliver for the American people, and he'll continue to do that.
Are you serious?
There's an item in Axios that President Biden was advised by the White House counsel to stop giving big dollar donors tours of the Oval Office. While he has been out of view of the public for the last 3 days, has he given any wealthy campaign donors tours of the Oval Office?
So just speaking to that particular point, those stories that were out there, so as many of your outlets have covered, it is typical. It is typical for all presidents, regardless of party, to host supporters at the White House complex, which is both, as you know, his working office as well as his personal residence as well. And President Biden and his team take all of this very seriously. We take rules concerning the White House and re-election seriously, and we're proud of that. We're proud of taking those rules very seriously. I just don't have anything else to add.
On that meeting the president had with Paul Whelan's sister yesterday at the White House, was there something that prompted that meeting? Is there any progress on a deal to get Paul's release?
So I wish I had an announcement to share on a deal on getting home Paul Whelan, and let's not forget Evan as well. This is obviously top of mind for this administration, for National Security Council, and for the State Department to get home Americans that are being held hostage or wrongfully detained. So that is something that we are working on regularly. So the president and Elizabeth Whelan have had conversations before. She's been in regular touch with the National Security Council, Jake Sullivan, and also obviously folks at the Department of State. Don't have any catalyst for this particular meeting, but the president obviously thought it was important for them to get together and to have a conversation. He's not going to get into private, specific, agendas or what was discussed. But look, this is something that the president takes really seriously. We saw him do that with the American hostages that are in Hamas, right, in Gaza, and how seriously he's been taking that for the past since October 7th, working around the clock. We see Secretary Blinken was in the region. We're constantly having those diplomatic conversations to get hostages home to their friends, to their families, and to their friends, and others, right? So he is taking this really seriously. So it's no surprise that he would have sat down and have a meeting with Elizabeth Whelan yesterday.
Wow.
In December, the administration had said it made a significant offer to secure the release of Whelan and Evan Gershkovich, but Russia rejected it. Has a new offer been made since last month?
So I don't have anything else to share on what we have said most recently, but this is something that the president is a priority for the president, to bring them both home, to bring other Americans who are being held hostage or wrongfully detained home. That is something that he takes very, very seriously, and we're going to continue to work on that.
Seriously.
Good, Emily.
Thanks, Green. I wanted to follow up on some of the questions yesterday about Hunter Biden. You've said he's a private citizen, which is true, but the president is a public citizen. And what's happening on Capitol Hill is public, it's political. So can you clarify why you aren't able to speak more about the president's role in his son's death?
Yeah, boy.
Emily, I really don't have anything else to add. He's a private citizen. He's not a member of the White House. He doesn't work here. I just don't have anything else to share. I would have to refer you to Hunter's representative. I don't have anything else to add from that to that.
I'm out of here.